Hey everyone, it's Christine here. I wanted to do a quick energetic update. We are in the midst of still being under the weighted blanket, and I know I've been using a lot of metaphors, but I feel like the energy, the tension, perhaps even confusion may be increasing slightly before we see the clarity that we want, before we have some type of certainty, especially when it concerns our relationships. A lot has been happening. Comment down below if you are feeling this too. I have felt a lot of tension, almost like pulling a rubber band and you're expecting it to break and it doesn't. And things are just getting more intense. That's the best word I can describe right now. And a lot of things are being mirrored to us in terms of perhaps where we need to heal, but also where we need to exert boundaries and what we are ready to leave and end. And a lot of this concerns other energies, other people. Because Pisces deals with closures, with endings, completions, and we are about to start a new astrological year, which means a new set of lessons to learn, new cycles, new contracts. People, things, situations, they are leaving right now pretty quickly. I know I have been releasing a lot of energies around me, some close friends, and it was really hard. It wasn't easy. And I felt it. You feel it. On an energetic, intuitive level, you just feel it. You may be feeling distance with some folks, feeling like you're not vibing anymore. And I think that could be the most difficult thing, especially when it concerns a friend, someone that you truly care about, or whatever relationship it's impacting. But at the same time, we're also realizing where it is that we are ready to grow, where we want more, where we're ready to expand and take on new experiences. Because if we were to stay in certain relationship dynamics, that means our soul may not grow in the way that it wants to. And so a lot of us may be feeling this yearning that we are supposed to break away, break free, fly away, if you will. I kept getting that Aerosmith song, Fly Away, and it was repeatedly playing. And then I decided to play and listen to the lyrics while I was hiking. And there's a lot about disconnecting so that you can connect further to yourself. And this energy right now, this season is calling for us to do that. And so if you are feeling especially emotionally weighted, physically weighted, energetically weighted, exhausted as fuck, ready to clean things up and start something new, you are feeling that push-pull tension where you have one foot in a new timeline ready for you to start and another still wrapping up and completing. I have been just getting a lot of intense, like a ferocity of energy with relationships, particularly because, again, contracts are ending. Some folks that you're with right now, if you're seeing things crumble, if you're seeing things disintegrating, or you're like, why am I butting heads so much with someone? Why are things coming up where before there were never any issues? And sometimes they're coming up for healing and almost like a form of expulsion so that you can transmute that. And sometimes you can, if the foundation of that relationship was strong, you can transform that particular relationship. But I've been sensing, feeling, and also experiencing a lot of that not happening, where wow, foundations weren't strong enough and they are crumbling, they are collapsing. And it's not always easy. You may be seeing the true colors of how people are right now, and that's what's happening in my reality at this time that I'm sensing and seeing, and also with a lot of people around me. And so be on the lookout for where you feel shifts in your relationship dynamics, in your everyday life, in your interactions, and what's happening and how you're feeling, because they're going to give you a lot of insight and clues as to what your soul is wanting to move into next, what it's yearning, what it's calling you to perhaps take a risk or move out of your comfort zone. Because a lot of this, it could feel very scary. There could be a lot of fears. I know earlier I went through like a crying session because I know I'm about to end a friendship with someone very dear to me, and it wasn't easy for me, but I know it's the right thing to do, and I feel it innately in my soul. And sometimes not all relationships require that sort of formal closure. Other times we're meant to go our separate ways and sometimes come back. But I've been feeling changes in dynamics with people, and I feel like this is happening in the collective as well. If we don't move on, the thing is, we risk taking things that don't fit us anymore, that don't fit us in our lives. If any of you have not seen the weekly energy reading I put out for March 13th through the 19th, I highly recommend you check it out, because I kept getting a sock metaphor. And some of you, if you looked at the title, you're like, what the fuck, Christine? Why are you talking about a sock? Some of us, when we have comfort items, especially sensory objects, blankets, maybe a favorite t-shirt. I'm not talking about getting rid of, sentimental things like that. But when you have something that no longer fits and you're keeping it and it's like worn to the T, you realize something has to go. We have to let something go. And sometimes we feel that with folks around us. We keep people around our energy fields and bubbles because it's comfortable. It's what we've known. We may have known someone in terms of earth years, a long time here. We may have felt, no, I'm supposed to be with this person, whether it's a platonic or romantic relationship. You may be feeling, I'm supposed to grow old with this person. They're supposed to be in my life. We are BFFs, whatever the case is. I urge you to reconsider titles and to detach yourself a little bit. Because a lot of times we feel it internally already. We feel it on a very intuitive, spiritual level when something is ready to complete. We just know. But our earthly ego-driven selves, we struggle with that, and we're like, no, we're gonna hang on even tighter, right? It's like hanging on to that sock when you know that damn sock has a hole, and you're like, no, I can still wear it a couple times. That's the metaphor I kept getting. And right now, the water where I'm at, this is one of my favorite hiking jaunts. It's very elevated, and so the dam is about to burst. I'm not saying here, there's no dam here, but I'm saying that metaphorically, energetically. Things are going to burst. You're going to see things collapse very quickly. And I'm not saying this for fear or for anything like that. It's simply for you, and also within your own soul, to recognize and to follow your own intuitive nudges. Not for me to say, oh, this is what you have to do. You got to follow your own nudges. That's why I say a lot of us already have been feeling these things that are happening. We've been feeling perhaps a discontent, a separation, a distance with folks. We may be feeling just like we're going on different ways. It's almost like when you were driving alongside your friends or your partner or your job, whatever it is, and all of a sudden you're like, wow, I feel like I'm supposed to make a left turn, and they're not coming with you. So this is going to affect people in so many different ways. Again, many folks are changing jobs, ending jobs, relationships. A lot of, again, endings, and also with belief systems, they are changing, and you may be getting repeated. I see two duckies over there. Relationships, you guys, but also abundance here. New opportunities are coming, but we can't receive them, and the universe sometimes doesn't have room to drop them off and bring them into our lives until we clean up what is meant to go. And so I want to say, if you are feeling, very emotionally weighted right now, if you've been crying, if you've been like, fuck positivity, fuck affirmations, it's okay, you're not alone. This is a time to really get comfortable with what's coming up, to allow yourself to feel. I've been crying a lot more these days, and I've been tapping into my emotions. I'm grateful for all of my water sign friends, especially my Piscean friends, who are just like enthralled with this season, that they're like, let it out. I'm like, damn it. So I'm really grateful. But as I see this water, like I mentioned here, it's rising, and so very soon this dam is going to break. And I'm saying that metaphorically. There is no dam here that's going to cause extensive flooding or a tsunami, but that means our emotions are going to be released, and that's an extremely cathartic way to cleanse ourselves, to cleanse our ethereal bodies, energetic bodies, and also our physical bodies. And I suggest getting into water, even if it's a short shower, and allowing yourself that cleansing moment, because very soon, in just a few short days, we will be, like a week or so, we will be into Aries season. We will be in Aries season, not into. And so I have been reflecting a lot about this, and I simply want to offer perhaps connection, but also a knowing, and simply to let you all know it's okay to be where you're at, even if it's not where you thought you would be at. Because I am in the boat with so many of you. where I'm like, shit, this isn't where I anticipated I'd be. And it's not good or bad, it simply is, and it's allowing me to detach from that perhaps expectation I had, but also realize the season, it's allowing me to just stay in tune. And when we are like those duckies I saw, they are floating down on this little stream here. When we are with those duckies and we just allow ourselves to be carried by the waters, right? It's a pride. Hey everyone, I'm back. I ran out of battery. I wanted to finish this message from my hike. I'm in the car now. I even brought a tripod with me on the hike, which was so awkward because it didn't fit in my backpack and it kept opening the little backpack zipper. So I had to carry it in the front. Anyways, again, with the water metaphor, I feel like the dam is about to break. And this is not like a major national threat or anything like that. It's a metaphor that I'm using. I feel like emotions are going to come out. It's going to be a way to lean into this, into our vulnerable sides, and really connect to ourselves. Because when we connect to these emotions and what we're feeling and allow ourselves to feel and naturally express them, it elevates us to the next chapter in our journey. It's like turning the page, right? There may be tears. We may still be processing. It doesn't mean that we are going to be perfect, that we're going to be, 100% ready and we're going to hit the ground once Aries season arrives in the spring equinox. But what I do want to say is right now, it's important that you really listen to and honor your feelings and the intuitive feelings, signs, sensations that you're getting. A lot of times it could be slightly off. It's almost like your hair, like the wind moving your hair. That's how subtle some of this can be, but you innately feel it as a soul. And so I'm really calling everyone, perhaps urging you guys to go inward and to connect with yourselves right now, especially if you're feeling something that is not resonating with you anymore, that's off, because I felt that with energies around me. And I know for many people, myself included, this is a time when relationships are tested, when relationships falter, break apart. It's almost like that last thread. You know, when you try to save a favorite t-shirt and you see the thread is unraveling it, or we'll just say in underwear, and you're like, no, I'm going to keep wearing it. And then finally it just starts unraveling and it stretches, and be the t-shirt, the underwear, the sock, maybe it goes to shit. It loses its stretchiness. The thread is gone. Maybe it unravels the seams, and that's what I'm feeling right now. Relationships are going to be tested, and if that foundation is not strong enough there, and again, that also entails reciprocity, open communication, being honest, folks that are ready to meet you where you're at in your journey and to talk through things. Because there are people that I'm realizing in my own experience where they're not ready to be honest, they're not ready to dive into these we'll just say more emotionally mature conversations. And when they're not, you can't stunt your own growth. And so there's a lot of things that are being learned here. You're not supposed to wait up for anyone. You're not supposed to stunt your own development, your own soul growth. And this is the part that may feel a little bit off, perhaps uncomfortable, because we're supposed to open that door and go ahead, and not everyone is going to be coming with us. And so this time, the season, I've been feeling it energetically and just sensing it with people on different platforms, YouTube, for example, and those in my everyday physical interactions. There's just a tiredness, and what you don't let go of, you're going to bring with you. So be really cautious and careful. Make sure that you take care of your energy right now. Again, I always use nature, but quick walk in the park, it's like a shower, a nature shower, I call it. It cleanses you completely. Taking a bath as well, really taking time to secure and to clean up your own energetic sphere and bubble. So let me know what else is going on with you guys. I'm excited for the shift in energy. I know this last part of the season is always very heavy, except maybe for water signs, and in particular Pisces, who are just jumping up and down, like, the Nerds candies, how they pop. That's what I feel like the Pisces babies are. They're popping, excited. And I love that energy because they just roll with it, literally, like the fishies and the ducks that I mentioned earlier. Like in the water, they navigate and they roll with it, and they allow themselves to be taken where they need to. And so some of us don't know where we're going. And that's the next point I'm going to make, because I feel like, again, perhaps with I'll blame it on the Pisces energy. I'm all over the place, but allow yourself to be navigated or to be directed, almost like the winds of a sail. Allow the wind, allow energy to take you where you need to go. It doesn't mean you're just coasting, but at this time, no action is needed as of yet. And again, you guys use discernment. If you are moving out tomorrow and you need to find a place, obviously don't sit on the couch, you know, do what you can. But with respect to your journeys and everything that's going on, allow yourself to be open, because I asked that in my own journey. And I say the house thing because I'm also hunting right now to move to an apartment by May, and I had in my head, I had a place that I was going to move into, and I'm like, this is it. And then I found out through the grapevine that someone knew 2 people that lived there, and it was not the optimal place that I thought it was. And so this is what I'm talking about, and allowing yourself to just be open to receive. Don't get too hung up or too attached to a decision. Be open, ask messages, ask for signs. Be ready to navigate your sails in a different direction, to change, right? Directions if you need to, because everything is working out for you. And the whole purpose right now is for you to navigate internally as well, and to feel that. So I'm going to wrap this up. I don't want to continue on. I simply wanted to give an update here on what's been going on. The most important thing here is to redirect and connect with yourself, to go inward, because a lot of messages are coming in and they're really allowing us to take another look perhaps, and also to take a step back and ask ourselves what's going on, what's happening, and where am I being called to next? Where am I being led to? And to follow that. Thank you guys. I'm wishing you a wonderful day wherever you are, or night. I'll see you soon.